Hello everybody, welcome to section 37. This one's rather straightforward. I'm not going to have a whole lot to talk about or anything earth-shattering per se. The rear roll bar is pretty much just to plans. There's not really any gotchas or anything earth-shattering. There is, if you look, you could see it there for just a second, but there's essentially three shims. You have an internal shim, you have two internal shims. One of them's on the lower end, one of them's on the higher end that essentially joins the two halves together. And then you have a shim on the top aft portion of the roll bar. It's a much smaller shim, it's a thinner shim, and it's the one thing that I wish I had really thought about before and just primered the bottom portion of it and not the top portion, because I use Sikaflex to glue in the rear window, and Sikaflex has an activator and it has a primer, and then you put down the silicone. Or if it is indeed silicone, I'm sure it's some sort of conglomerate of glue, silicone, whatever. But the primer interacted with the very small amount of paint that I still had left on the top shim that the rear window attaches to. So even though I had scuffed it down to almost no paint, it's still it's gonna adhere just fine. However, I wish I had not painted that. One last word of advice: at the base of the roll bar there are two small openings with doublers. That is where your canopy lock pins are going to go through. I would very much recommend that you put that lock pin in and then you put those doublers on, or else the brass or copper, I'm not sure what it is, housing, it's not gonna fit quite right, and then that shim is a little bit off angle and it's a mess. So I hope that helps, and I'll see everybody in section 38 when we start working with plexiglass.